Well, we are continuing the trend that has been set over the last few weeks where the person playing the game the hardest is the one the house targets. Because this episode, I mean, it was even last week was the episode was named Domfather, and tonight it was the Domfather 2, and this episode felt all about Dominique and her eventual exit from the game. So we had, well, to be honest, I did not like the challenge this week. It saw our contestants playing a game of telephone. I get the concept. It just, to me, is not really that entertaining to watch. It's like one of those activities that is kind of fun if you're a part of it, but to watch someone else do it is just not engaging to me. Like I don't want to watch other people screw up the words. Like it's almost a little frustrating to watch when if you're in it, it's kind of fun, kind of silly, kind of enjoyable. So wasn't really a big fan of the challenge, but it was broken into two teams. The blue team of Kai, Dom, Logan, and Pepper, and the green team of Louise, Lark, Elsie, and Amara. The two captains were Kai and Louise. So Louise's team won. She gets safety. No one will be knocking out Simone Biles' identical replica quite yet. But Kai, who people don't really have a clue who she is related to, ends up being forced into the bottom, which was quite interesting because she ends up picking Dominique to be the other person in the bottom. So you have two people that the house is kind of been struggling at figuring out. There's definitely been more leads on Dominique, and the group as a whole was able to put that together tonight to figure out that Dominique was related to Al Sharpton. They kind of circulated Elsie's clue around the house to come up with the names I just drew a huge blank, but came up with Al Sharpton's name and Jesse Jackson. That's who the other one was, along with Martin Luther King. You know, the Martin Luther King was ruled out pretty quickly, so it just came down to those two, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. And Logan really went and studied the clue board and came up with a couple vague references to Al Sharpton, and somehow was able to convince Kai to guess that Dominique was related to Al Sharpton, and we see her sent packing. So now we are down to 7 people left in the game. Logan has to be the favorite at this point. Like I feel the only way he's going home is by guessing incorrectly. Pepper also seems to be stumping people. Amara, she's really dodged a couple bullets here because it seemed like Dominique figured out that she's related to Whoopi Goldberg and leaves. And earlier in the season, Michael figured out that she was related to Whoopi Goldberg and he immediately left. So, probably likely that the rest of the house can figure it out as well. But, two people that were totally onto her and magically immediately go home. Pretty convenient for Amara. Who else? Lark. I think people are going to figure it out. My suspicion is that Lark is related to Cindy Crawford, even though that first clue that Pepper got does not match with her. I think everything else, and even just looking at Lark, you can kind of match that up, Lark and Cindy Crawford. Louise, like I said before, everyone on the planet knows who she's related to. Yeah, and like the one person that I think us as fans were really struggling with figuring out who she was related to was Kai. And after tonight's episode, I think I have figured out who she is related to, thanks to the clue that Louise grabbed on Kai. The clue was funny woman in Girls Trip. There's 4 leads in Girls Trip. Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith, Regina King, and Tiffany Haddish. You know, I think no way that it's going to be Jada Pinkett Smith. And then just looking at the other 3, there is a resemblance between Tiffany Haddish and Kai. And I think for me, that is going to be my guess on who Kai is related to, Tiffany Haddish. You know, it took that extra clue to get there, and before this, you know, Tiffany Haddish wasn't even on my radar for who Kai was related to, but I think that we have figured everybody out. Kai, Tiffany Haddish; Dominique, Keke Palmer; Logan, Jason Aldean; Pepper, Dean Martin; Louise, Simone Biles; Lark, Cindy Crawford; Elsie, Keke Palmer; and Amara, Whoopi Goldberg. I think that I said Dominique, Keke Palmer in there, but just scratch that. We know that's Al Sharpton, and she's out of the game anyways. So at the end of the episode, I really feel like Louise accidentally painted a big target on Logan's back when she basically outed him for figuring out the Al Sharpton clue, which, according to how our trend has been going, could mean that he is going to end up being the guesser or guest next week, and we could start seeing people start pulling Logan clues when they win contests. Really enjoying this show. I'm going to have to review more shows like this, and we might be doing some Masked Singer in the near future, because this one has been a lot of fun. And as much as I really didn't like when they had the whole Rudy Giuliani thing on Masked Singer, I'll maybe come back and try that for next season. But as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.